Okay, here we go. Good evening. Welcome to this regular scheduled business meeting of the Summersville City Council on this 10th day of March 2025. I'd like to welcome all of our guests and get right into tonight's agenda. First item on the agenda is consideration of the council minutes of the meeting we held on February 24th, 2025.
Move to approve and waive the reading.
Second. Okay, council, we have a first and a second. The motion was to waive the reading. Are there any changes or amendments to those minutes as they were presented? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion so carries. Public comment? No public comment tonight. Okay, the next item is the second reading of the ordinance to approve the current replacement pages to the Summersville Codified Ordinance for the updated traffic code and general offenses code. And this is per state statute. Entertain a motion?
So approved.
Second. We've got a first and a second. Are there any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion so carries, and that makes that official. Okay, as it was the second and final. The next item on the agenda is our general fund budget revision number 3 for the 24-25 fiscal year. And council, what we did is we increased, to generate this revenue, we increased our sales tax revenue. As I have previously reported, the first 2 quarters are in and we're 26% up. So we will clearly be above the 1.7, and just by the way, last year it came in at 1.9. So that's where we're identifying the $42,000 in revenue for this budget revision. And we're going to add $8,000 in the finance personal services. It was previously $244,000, bringing it to $252,000. And you'll see in the footnotes that this is for the director, our retiring finance director's payout of her benefits as she goes out the door. And basically what that is their vacation that they've accrued. Each employee can accrue up to 240 hours of vacation that they get paid for it. They have that in the bank when they leave. The next item is for the City Hall personal services, which previously it was $305,000. We're increasing it $14,000. And that brings it to $319,000. And again, that's for the city superintendent's payout on their leave. The last item is the Summersville Volunteer Fire Department contractual. Previously it was $400,000. We're increasing it $20,000, bringing that line item to $420,000, and that's for the building improvements for the full-time employees that we hope to start come July of this year. So we showed the revenue $42,000, the change in expenses $42,000. I'll entertain a motion for approval.
So moved. Second.
Got a first and a second. Council, any questions? And I'll tell you, just so you know, these amounts don't necessarily reflect the payout. We took the revenue that was already in the budget, and so it doesn't indicate that one gets paid more than the other going out the door. It's just what we needed to put in there so that we can pay the payouts. We've got a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion so carries. Recorder's report?
No report to see.
No recorder's report. Mayor's report. Council, I want to do something that quite frankly I've never done before. I initiated an op-ed that went out in West Virginia, particularly West Virginia media, and I got some partners to go along with me in the op-ed. We did it through the Immunization Network. Dr. Mark Tomshow, pediatrician, Robert Schaefer, mayor, city of Summersville, Terrence Beam, the Nicholas County School Superintendent, Steve Ferguson, who is on the Nicholas County Board of Education, but also sits on the main board for WVU Medicine Board System, and then of course Stephen Boone, who is a pharmacist. As West Virginians consider the passage of Senate Bill 460, which would allow religious and philosophical exemptions to school and child care immunization requirements, we feel compelled to speak out. If passed, this bill would make it easier for parents to opt out of immunizing their children, undermining public health efforts that have protected our students and communities for years. Immunizations are among the most effective tools in preventing the spread of contagious, life-threatening diseases. Non-medical exemptions weaken herd immunity, which not only protects the vaccinated, but also those who cannot be vaccinated, like infants, the elderly, and individuals with compromised immune systems. The increased risk of breakouts putting our schools and communities at greater risk. As a pediatrician and public health advocate, I've seen how immunizations prevent outbreaks of diseases like measles, and everybody sees what's going on in Texas, and I think now even Arizona, mumps, and the whooping cough. Unfortunately, as exemptions rise, so do outbreaks. Measles, once eliminated in the U.S., has made a comeback, often tied to declining immunization rates. Children with non-medical exemptions are far more likely to contract these diseases that vaccinated. Okay, let me read that again. They're more likely to contract these diseases than vaccinated peers. Beyond health risk, outbreaks have significant economic consequences. As a business owner and mayor, I understand how disease outbreaks disrupt local economies. School closures and absenteeism from work lead to productivity losses and far exceed the immediate healthcare cost. West Virginia has been a leader in public health with high immunization rates, but Senate Bill 460 threatens this progress. Allowing more exemptions could expose our schools and communities to preventable disease outbreak. The safety of our children, teachers, and healthcare providers must remain our top priority, and strong immunization laws are critical to ensuring that protection. In schools where children gather in close quarters, the risk of disease spread is heightened. Non-medical exemptions would put schools and child care centers at unnecessary risk, endangering students, especially those with compromised immune systems or chronic health conditions. As educators, healthcare providers, and public servants, we have a responsibility to protect our children. We cannot afford to roll back protections that have kept our communities safe. We urge lawmakers to reject Senate Bill 460, prioritizing public health and ensuring safe schools for generations to come. Vaccines work and are safe. Strong immunization laws are essential for keeping our children, schools, and communities safe. Let's continue to prioritize the health and safety of our future by preserving our current immunization policies. And West Virginia truly is a leader in this. And with this Senate bill, if you go read it, it's going to be very easy for people to opt out of getting vaccinated. And so anyway, we put this op-ed out. Still don't know where the bill stands, and it's trying times right now. But certainly this would be a backset to diseases that we've been able to eradicate, and it's just unbelievable that we're trying to go backwards. Okay, I felt compelled to read that. Thanks for allowing me. Legislative update. I want to give you a legislative update. Of course, Gary and I are headed next Monday and Tuesday to the West Virginia Municipal League. But there is a heavy watch on some bills. I participate in the mayor call every Friday. And there's some good things and some bad things. One good bill that we are supporting is increasing the property auction threshold. The current auction threshold right now is 1,000, so anything that we get rid of over 1,000, technically we're supposed to auction, and we do. They're going to raise that to 10,000. The $1,000 limit, believe it or not, was set in the 1960s. So as the cost of goods and whatnot has gone up, it's time to raise the threshold. So basically what that would do is allow us to disperse of property and not necessarily have to do a public auction up to the value of 10,000. A bill that we oppose is requiring municipal elections to sync up with county elections, and as much as I hate to tell you, this is probably going to pass. The good thing about it is they're giving cities till 2032 to make that happen. But somewhere along the line, when this bill passes, and we're still going to stand in opposition of it, our legislative day will actually be before the legislators next Tuesday. We stand in opposition of this. But anyway, it looks like it's probably going to pass, and that means at some point in time we'll have to have a short election, a 2-year election for a mayor, and then pick back up on their cycle for a 4-year election. Not just mayor, but mayor and council, everybody. So, but the good thing of it is if the bill does pass, the deadline for compliance is 2032. The other bill that we stand in opposition of and really can't right now tell exactly where this bill is from a standpoint of passage, but there's actually a bill making home-based businesses a permitted use in all zones. This is a national template that seeks to make home-based businesses a permitted use in all zones and exempts no-impact home businesses from having to get business licenses. This could be chaotic because you just can't imagine what kind of stuff might start firing up in neighborhoods. Many West Virginia cities already have allowance for home-based businesses, and we do. In our ordinances, we have some allowances for home-based businesses. The business license exemption would create an unfair advantage for no impact for the home-based businesses, and would completely take away from the bricks and mortar of business when everybody can operate out of homes. And it's unfortunate because it doesn't get real descriptive, but I mean I could just think of all kinds of things that could happen. You've got people that like to sell cars, and next thing you know they'll get a dealer license and be selling cars out of their yard, and just who knows. I mean, so we stand in high opposition of that bill, and as of the last call I attended, we really don't know how it's hard to get a test on it right now. But I will tell you that I've been in pretty good contact with our delegate Stanley, and I proudly say that he's been working with me on a lot of this stuff, a lot of these bills. So far so good from the standpoint. He's pretty pro-city from a legislative standpoint. So on a lot of this stuff, he's been helped. Okay, the next thing I have is I want to give you a hydro update. I was notified last week by the Office of the Assistant Secretary that the Army study that we paid for has been forwarded to the OMB. That's the Office of Budget and Management. It goes there for approval, and then from there it'll actually go to Congress. So we finally got it out of the Secretary's office because unfortunately it hit right at transition time, but it has been forwarded to the Office of the OMB. And then the other thing I wanted to do is because I just happened to get monthly updates on generation and our budget through February, the end of February. Our February budget was 19,232 megawatt hours. We came in a little heavy at 21,856 megawatt hours. But unfortunately, January was a horrible month. And our January budget was our budget year to date. We were hoping to be at 29,000. No, got it backwards. Year to date, we were hoping to be at 44,004 megawatt hours, and we're only at 29,384 megawatt hours. So we're only running about 66% of our budget this calendar year, and that's the way we track the megawatt hours. So I just thought I'd give you that. Y'all got in your packet, I want to make an announcement so that it goes out on TV, spring cleanup. It's hard to believe it's here again, but spring cleanup. Wards 1 and 2 are April 7th through 11th. Wards 3 and 4 are April 14th through the 18th. Citizens, I encourage you, if you don't have clarity of your ward, to call City Hall at 304-872-1211. And that is the same number that you'll call if you want pickup. We just ask that you make a courtesy call, so in case you might be located somewhere in a community when we do the drive-through, we don't see your stuff. We still ask that you call and request a pickup so we know where items are at. Allowable items are furniture, appliance, and other large items. Appliances containing Freon must have a certification sticker that the Freon has been removed. Unallowable items are, we don't pick up your regular garbage, leaves, brush, tires, and construction debris. those are things that we don't pick up. This service is only for the citizens that live in the fine city of Summersville within our corporate limits, and it is illegal for anyone outside city limits to bring items into the city for pickup. And then again, I encourage you, if you're unsure of your ward, to call City Hall.
Mayor?
Yes.
This is only for residential, correct?
What's that?
This is only for residential, correct?
Actually, no, we'll pick up.
Businesses?
Yeah, if they've got
Yeah.
furniture and stuff, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. No, it's for the entire
I
city.
thought it was only residential. for some
No, it's, we'll pick up, if a business is doing some cleanup, got stuff they wanna get rid of, we wanna pick it up too. Okay, any other questions? Okay, are there any council reports or comments?
On the lake down there, how much, they're drained almost dry, so what's the deal on that?
They are going back down to do another inspection. So they had to take it back down to do another tunnel inspection.
Oh,
Yeah. So, and they've told us that they'll, do it in a very quick and orderly fashion and get it back up so we can, get back online. But yes, when they take us down that low, we don't get enough, pressure to generate for the turbines.
they got it all fixed?
What's that?
Have they got it all?
Actually, they do not, and there's even gonna be a schedule for something later, and we don't know exactly when that is. Okay, if there's no council comments, we will need an executive session, under the authority of the West Virginia Code, and this will be for matters related to construction, planning, commercial, completion matters, the purchase, sale, or lease of property. I'll entertain a motion to move into executive session. Got a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you all.